What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. I was trying to figure out a good time to do a review, but I'm gonna go ahead and do one right now because I gotta go pick up my son. But really great trading day today. You know, there's a couple hours left in the market. That's cool. I'm gonna dip out of here in a few. TCBP was phenomenal, and I'm gonna show you guys on the book why it was phenomenal too, guys. So smash a thumbs up. Again, too, if you guys want to start learning how they auction price and how you can visually see it instead of just looking at candlesticks, and level 2, you can get a more visualization through the Bookmap. I have a code to save you a few bucks, but I'm going to go ahead and jump in this. Okay, TCBP was a phenomenal pre-market paint job on this. To me, when I look for some type of consolidation pattern, I want to make sure there's not like this peak volume or a seller or a breakdown where things get heavy and then now we're under structure. Okay, so even though this was pulling back into open, this wasn't underneath structure. All right, an example of this would be like MIRA on yesterday. Sorry, so this is a continuation play. But for day one, right? So day one structure where you kind of see something like this where it has a pre-market paint, pulls back, puts in a lower high, pulls back again, tries, and then dumps. And then you have this type of volume coming in on this, and, well, it doesn't go anywhere, okay? So to me, this type of paint job or structure pattern behind this is, now we're underwater, right? Or we're underneath structure. So, when we have this igniting volume coming through, or you can see it better on the 5, or really quick, this needs to go, okay? If not, all this is going to do is just put in a lower high to overall pattern, and then pretty much not go anywhere from there. But you can see this did completely something different, and actually did not break down all the way, held up and went for a day 2 move. That's cool. Really not a lot of range. You could have got 20, 30 cents and maybe, I don't know, a little bit of percent on that move. Okay, there was other things out there. All right, so TCBP, this was amazing. Structure wise was a lot different. All right, first of all, this reclaimed the 4 a.m. pop going to 7 a.m. Now this pop consolidated, but you can see the difference right here. This is not underwater. All right, this is not fully underwater where it broke down. We're trading over here. Now we have to retest these areas. Maybe retest we're underneath a key level. Daily wise too, an incentive. Okay, daily wise incentives. This company had some warrants to exercise, so when they need to do that, they need to exercise a certain price. So kind of being ahead of that and understanding that through dilution tracker would be a great thing to potentially add to your toolbox for that one. This one had a nice window gap. Okay, I love window gaps, and then I also love ones that are being retested, because you can see that it failed here at 2.9. 2.9 VWAP day with 2 was like 169. So going into open, we were right there in that area. Okay, it did not break down, did not stay heavy. The book was phenomenal. Okay, this is what we're looking like for structure wise too on the book. To me, this was like a nice controlled walk down where they pop it up against this passive order right here against 210. So really 210 was a big order right here. So you can see clearly 30,000 sitting right there, and after that we pop up. To me, this is all controlled. If you can see how the heat map has it, and they throw this one right here, okay, against 168. You see it pop through and it kind of breaks down again. This is the open. Okay, for some of you guys too who maybe potentially have global plus, there's an indicator too that you can pop on here. It's right here. It's called the absorption indicator. Now, sometimes it's going to gauge a certain size, and you can change it any way you like on this, depending on, I would look at overall volume and then maybe mess around with those numbers to see it, and then maybe apply that, right? So you can take that and then apply it. I'll deep dive into that and kind of break down a video on that later, but I'm gonna make sure I keep the ball warm here. Okay, I talk about this without even having this. They had a nice big seller get absorbed down here. It shows 72,000. On the absorption indicator, you're going to see 67,000. So a buyer got absorbed right here. Okay, if it's green, buyer. If it's purple, It's going to be a seller. All right. To me, this was great, and I actually took my first ads after I saw this not break down right over here. They actually had a bidder come in, and you can see the bid stacks right here. Okay. I waited until I saw some confirmation, and then I hit it again and averaged up on this. All right. I was looking for a bigger move. All right. Now, structure wise, when I see this, right, I see nothing but open space right here on the book. Also have your level 2 up, and then I got time and sales, right? They were soaking. This setup right here, this was just a bunch of soaking going on. The tape was fast. It was speeding. I have some people say, hey, you know, there's not a lot of bid support right here, okay? Or it doesn't look like there's a lot of bid support. But at the same time, too, there's a bunch of absorption going on in multiple areas on this chart, okay? These are all absorption, absorption, absorption. It's not breaking down. And then another bidder comes in pretty aggressive a little bit right here. You can see how it spikes, and then it starts to get pulled. And then again right here as well. This helps ignite it to me. After that, they kind of come in and sweep and remove the liquidity from 190, 195, and then $2, okay? And after that, we actually went squeeze and went straight into a halt. This was a phenomenal play. All right, again on the daily. Let me pull the daily up right here. Okay, anything above or crushing this 170s only gave an opportunity for it to fill more gap, okay? Then I actually took these away, put them back right here. After that, we pretty much have supply areas right here to bust through. And then we could have drew one. I like to put one. Let's see. You can put one maybe right here to here, or you can start a catch. I like to look at 1229. This is a big rejection day, so I probably would have put one maybe like to the top to right here, and then ran it across. Okay. On that one. All right. That did not. There's a lot of space in this. Okay. That's fine. I don't need to get too crazy with this. All right. The reason why you want to draw your zones or potentially apply them to your charts is because I was looking for a second leg or potential pullbacks, and if things are not going to break down and get heavy, there could be potentially more juice in the tank, okay? This thing was phenomenal, okay? From entry and from add-ons, this gave a 100% return. Actually, it was close to like 90 something, almost 100% return. It was pretty hard to get fills up here. I did have fills at $3, and then when it started to squeeze, I started to liquidate more on this one, okay? After that, you can clearly see it kind of just breaking down after that. Put in a lower high. This was a nice lower high stuff. Another lower high and another lower high. And now we're sitting back above that one, okay? STI. STI was also great, okay? I don't know what happened over here. Maybe a reverse split, but this did tank. So when I'm trading something like this, guys, again, all right, there's another window gap right here. Okay, let's put that window gap down. Run it out. I like to keep mine blue. Break it down. Boom, boom, boom. All right, after that, when I see stuff like this, I like to just put little zones from here out, run it, just to do it for fun, right? Or actually see where I'm trading. Try to bounce right here. And then after that, all-time high was $3, okay? I said at one point in the room, hey, we might as well just go for $3, which was this high right here. And I actually did swipe it, which was actually kind of crazy, okay? Book-wise, too, on this one, guys. Okay, where am I on time? Okay, we're good, we're good. Okay. Book-wise, too, before this ran, I thought this was a great setup right here. Right here, okay? Again, I'm not going to go too much into detail on this one other than I just started going parabolic, but to me, this was a great area right here. There was 40,000 shares right here getting absorbed, and then right here, this is a good example on the book of seller exhaustion, all right? Where you see a big seller get absorbed, and then after that, there's no more follow through, and then on the book, there's not these heavy offers coming down on it, and then the play giving out, all right? Once this area was retested, we started to come back up into this price area, it started to break out above it again, and then a big bidder came right here. You can see him, 30K bidder. Right after that, to me, this helped offset the book and helps price action squeeze. This was really great. They pulled this offer right here too as well in the book. So at 153, they pulled this guy. All right, now you start to see this thing go parabolic. Okay, it goes parabolic, and then you're going to start seeing these spoof bids follow through with price action. Okay, this is what you want to see if you're holding on to a move and you want to see some continuation or momentum. Okay, this is another area where sellers get absorbed and then there's no more follow through, and then again the book is clear. Okay, mind you, this is just the DX feed. Have your level 2 up, then you'll be able to see ARCA, OTCBP, and a couple of other exchanges that are not on the DX feed. Super important. Okay, there's no difference of this type of price auctioning right here, and then again right here, pushing this back up. Okay, so this one was a really great one. A couple areas to really watch for again was down here for continuation. I always like to see sellers get absorbed, and then what happens after that? Sellers get absorbed down here again, and then the bids are still strong, guys, on this one. All right, so this was really great for some continuation and follow through. You could say too, this is also a previous area of interest. Any areas where there was higher liquidity being retested is a nice area of interest or a previous area of interest. Okay, so STI, this was beautiful. You can just start seeing them just removing these offers and not breaking down. That's a really great thing too to notice if you have the book and utilize it, is to look for areas to get removed of liquidity, and then for it not break down, maybe a pullback, retest, and continue. Okay, now the book, as I would say, is completely changing its character on the back side of this one. Okay, I just wanted to bring this up and show this. It's a lot different than when it's starting to squeeze. Okay, the book to me is starting to getting a lot heavier, and then there's not a lot of appetite on the best offer. All right, you can kind of see how it changes. There's more appetite on the best bids, and they're just starting to unwind and chase the liquidity back down on the bid side versus the offer side. Okay, super important to look for. All right, APM last week was a phenomenal trade. All right, let me see. Definitely wanted just to recap on this one. APM. All right, to me this was a beautiful liquidity trap. The cool thing too was I was actually talking to Bruce. If you guys don't know Bruce, he's a really good Bookmap trader. He teaches a lot of stuff, so that was super cool for us to be doing a one-on-one, and then he was watching this squeeze for a nice liquidity trap. Okay, this one had plenty of bid support on this. All right, AMP. All right, here goes again another phenomenal example of sellers getting absorbed. And shortly right after, sellers got exhausted, and then this started to take off and ramp up and start to squeeze. Okay, I can't tell you how this one was just an insane trade for me. You know, there's not a lot of times, and I didn't catch the whole entire top, which is fine. But when you look at APM, this was a beautiful liquidity trap on the daily. You know, lately too, there's been a couple names that we've been seeing who they're swiping like a year worth of chart, 6 months, a year and a half. All right, so this one actually went all the way back to let's say 5/3 of 2023. You know, so this is about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 11 months worth of stock right here. Actually, sorry, 8. This one, big important day. Sorry, I keep checking the time. Got to go in a few minutes. AMP on that big day, VWAP was a 722. All right, this thing was not breaking down at all. Okay, this is a nice pop consolidation too. You know, for some of those guys who like to geek out and do some data too, you know, there's a lot of runners who actually pick up around 10 to 10:30. All right, 10 to 10:30. So they soak for about an hour. They soak for about 30 to about 60 minutes of soaking. All right, That's a different play, a different setup. I would trade that differently than I would for a week open. I would trade that different from a midday runner. After that, okay, I would trade that differently from a power hour runner, right? Running from maybe 1500 to 1600 right before the market closes, okay? Way different, okay? Understanding your time frames throughout the day is going to be another phenomenal thing, right? Dissect the day. That's what I do. I trade pre-market really different, and then I trade open differently, and then I wait for something like this. I trade it differently, and then I'll trade power hour differently. I might size differently. I might look at things differently, see how things should react to certain levels around those times. It's a great thing to do, or try to incorporate in your trading. Try it out. If it doesn't work, okay, that's cool. All right, so this one was a great, okay. This one was phenomenal. Again, this did not break down, and anytime I see anything on the 5 having some type of rejection and not breaking down on lower volume, it's game time. All right, and then our level was 722s right here. This did not get heavy, and in fact, it popped and flagged, traded sideways, and went parabolic. This was an insane runner. All right, different daily, understanding that, understanding some key levels. Okay, this daily too, again, was a lot of sideways action, low volume, and then all of a sudden that day it had 82 million. Pre-market it had like 30 million. There's volume in this, okay? So it's really important to understand and then trade. Okay. And real quick too, when things start to go parabolic, the book is phenomenal, because now you're going to start seeing if they try to hold things down, right, when they put offers like this, once this gets removed, this is all open space, and then the book starts actually getting thin, right? And then I think a lot of traders will understand this too, like, hey, it's starting to get thin, right? They're not holding it down anymore. It's starting to get whippy. Things can start going kind of crazy. That's exactly what happens on this one, right? The great thing about this is while this is going parabolic, you're going to be able to see where the next big liquidity magnets are. All right. One thing before I go, one thing that this is actually great, guys. The book, not only does it help identify potential price targets, right? It also can help you and prevent you from taking unnecessary trades. All right. Let me tell you something. I've been day trading for 5 years almost. It is so easy to actually take trades. And what I mean by that, it's all you got to do is click the buy button or click the sell button, and the buy button, the sell button. There's going to be a lot of setups, a lot of dailies. If you start tracking them, you start sticking to your playbook. There's going to be a lot of things that you can just hit over trade. The best thing about the book for me and utilizing it the right way is it prevents me from taking unnecessary trades. Unnecessary trades can lead to bad habits, to losses, to big losses, and frustration, right? So when I see stuff, I'll have a watch list out. I'll go through all these. We have open market. I'll start flipping through them. I'll pull them out. I'll scatter them around, and I'll look to see if there's any liquidity on these, right? RVSN real quick too. I thought maybe this was going to be a potential play, but I basically stayed away from this one. Okay. Oh. And I'll pull this up because I do got to go. Okay. I thought maybe potentially RVSN. I thought RVSN maybe potentially be a small little liquidity backside trap on this one, but it just did not happen. 350 was key to hold. This was that 3.6 VWAP, and unfortunately it just popped above it and then broke down. But I was able to utilize the book and see that, okay? I was able to see that it kind of went up only, no bid support, a little spoof up here, and once it started to pull back and retest, it kind of just sold all the way off, okay? Right, so I don't want to put all my eggs in this basket. I'm a long too, primarily, unless I can get a good short when I'm not focused on looking for a good percent return on the long side. I wouldn't want to trade something like this once I start to see the opposite of buyers over here getting absorbed. No more follow through, no more squeezing, especially off some key levels, and then there's no more bid support. Right, it's just like flipping the chart. So, this helped me is preventing me from getting too locked in on this one, because I didn't see what I would like to see on different trades. And then you can kind of see how this, even this, when this back tested or did a lower high right here, it just sold off immediately again, right? So there wasn't really any much, you could have got 50 cents. You could have scalped this. That's cool. You probably would have got, I don't know, maybe 10, 15%, 13% on this. But, TCBP almost gave 100% return from ads and entry on this one. That was a really phenomenal play. All right, guys. Much love. Peace out. Mikey.